of housing, and they're manipulating markets. They're only releasing out of their inventories at will as they choose, as they can fill it up, because they don't want to lower their prices. They don't want to compete. So they work in unison. And then the landlords, the higher they can get the rent, right, that gives security to these people that have manipulated the markets upward. That's how it works. There's a direct correlation for the price you pay for a house and the price you pay for rent at an apartment. Okay, believe me. There's all these people. I just saw a court show. I watched Kevin Ross, America's Court, this morning. And he had this woman in there, the landlord lady who's suing the tenant. You know, it happens a lot. And sometimes the other way around. But, her job was, hey, I'm just buy up houses. And, of course, she's using OPM, other people's money. So she goes to the bank. The banks are in cahoots or colluding with these kind of people that go out there and they go buy up houses. And now that house is no longer for sale to some poor family hoping to get their first house. They've snapped off the market. And, now she's renting out rooms, okay? This is going on all over the place. This doesn't end well, folks. California is leading the way. We have less than 50% of Californians are homeowners now, and that figure is spiraling out of control. It's skyrocketing. That disparity, okay, that is where the wealth is in home ownership. If you can't afford to own a home, you're going to be poor the rest of your life. Figure it out when you get too old and you can't earn money. And what if your pension is gone? What if you just won't cover your rent? What then? And there's no Section 8 then. Then what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You're going to be out on the street. So when you're too weak or sick to pay it, or you've been wiped out financially because of your medical bills, something happens. You lose a job, you get a divorce, so you lose your house, and then what? What are you going to do? You're going to depend on the social welfare system, right? So all these people in these jobs, those jobs are going to be irrelevant someday, but they should only have those jobs with the idea of fixing the problem, of getting to the end, okay, seeing light at the end of the tunnel and fixing it, moving on in life, do something else. I mean, how could a guy like me be a threat to anybody? I don't get that. I'm not here to oppress anybody. I'll set everybody free. I'm going to say, God, what do you want me to do? Jesus, what do you want me to do? Okay, you want me to rule? I don't care about having a name for myself. I could care less about fame or fortune. I just want the same thing for everybody else that I want for myself. I want to be free. That's it, entirely free. And that's an absolute quality. And I want my children to be free. I don't want them born beholden to anybody. I want them born understanding that God gave you this planet, and every stitch of technology and all the infrastructure, all this progress we've made on Earth, all these cool, neat things we've done, technology-wise, the industrial age and all this stuff, state-of-the-art tools and equipment, all this really cool stuff, it belongs to them because God gave us the brain. So God gave us the wherewithal, all glory to God, to build all this stuff. And all the ancestors that started the ball rolling, they're all dead and gone anyhow. So even if they had patents, they're not here anymore. They're gone. So it belongs to you. So all I'm saying is that use your instinct to serve your fellow man. If you're grateful about that, and it was your fellow man that provided that to you, then go out there and just tap into your normal instincts. That's it, your godly, normal instincts to utilize your talents, to contribute to society in whatever way on your terms. You don't have to answer to anybody. I'm not saying that there aren't things that groups and teams don't do together. I know that. You don't build a Golden Gate Bridge by yourself. No, people agree. We're going to meet here. Come anytime you want. This is what we'll be doing when enough people show up. We've got, we need enough people to do this task or that. But hey, what's the hurry? You see, there's no hurry for anything. This whole idea, phony idea, pseudo idea of crony capital. Hurry, 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 get the job done. And then they lay you off, right? Because they're not selling enough of their products, but they're sitting on all the riches. The riches being in the inventory, okay? They get to keep the inventory, sell it at will, and you get a layoff notice. That's what you get for hurry, 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 that mentality. It doesn't work. I mean, we're being manipulated. That's probably the single most important thing everybody's got to understand. That all these problems we have in society, all these miseries have been invented and foisted, shoved down our throats. And when you understand that, you understand a lot. Okay, you're well on your way to attaining wisdom. As far as other, current events that we got going on, we got Milo pointing out that, these these people out there wearing the masks and acting violently, intimidating people, they are domestic terrorists. I mean, you got to call a spade, and that's what they are. But let's see what's happening in the news. Well, I know I butchered a quote recently. I was talking about Fidel Castro, and no, what he was saying, when America had a black president and a Latin American pope, that's when relationships would open up again between the countries. So, I don't know. It's just kind of intriguing to me that, he thought of such a thing. But, it might just be coincidental. Our mainstream media is acting like they care about consumer protection regulations now. I never heard them once mention the Glass-Steagall Act and the damage that's caused. Are they utterly ignorant or are they evil? Okay, we all need to ask ourselves that. Because in my opinion, the mainstream media is evil as the day is long. Okay, because again, they're scared. I mean, it's not that I condemn anybody. I'm just saying, look, I understand all these people doing these jobs that are going to someday be useless, and they're even contributing to the problems right now. Look, I understand you're scared. You're scared of Satan, because if you don't have money, you're the one that's going to be living under that bridge next, right? I get it, okay? God gets it. But you've got to pray earnestly, and you've got to say, no, God, no matter what happens, come what will, let the chips fall where they will, God, and please just help me, give me the strength, the wherewithal, comfort me, encourage me enough, sustain me, so I can stand against the force of evil, because I want to be on the side of humanity. I insist on being, and you've got to work against the evil. Say, even if it harms me, even if it's my own, I'm going against my own personal self-interest, because that's the hard part. It's hard for people to be honest when they're either real or perceived self-interests happen to be at stake. And that's what's going on here, is that they are. People are scared. Wow, you mean if we fix the problem, I'm going to be out of a job? Yes, right down the line. All sorts of jobs are going to disappear. So what does that mean? Does that mean you can't be prosperous and free? No, more so. Be absolutely free. That's what we've got to be, idealistic and get to the bottom of this thing. Say, God, help us. Please, God, help us. Beg God. We need him. Please, folks, see the light of truth. Please, I beg you. Everybody got to get it, man. It's evil. It's evil, evil, evil writ large. And we've got to stand up against it, man. We got to find our way out of this thing. To extricate ourselves, we've got to understand the problem, the root cause of the problem. Like Jesus said, the root of all evil, the cause of all evil is this love of money. And so what's the answer? You can say, well, we got to learn how to not love money. Well, it doesn't work if you've got a huge segment of people that are willing to do anything, that don't care that you got a big gaping hole in your gas tank. As long as that fuel is going in their mouth, they don't care that the hole's getting bigger and the whole thing can't work. It's going to fall apart at the seams anytime now, as long as they're benefiting now. And that's evil. You're going to not answer to me. You don't have to answer to me or any man, but you will stand before your Creator someday. You will answer for your belief system, your thought system. Okay, you will justify it. You will rationalize it before an all-intelligent God. If there's one thing God's not, and that is stupid. So wake up, everybody, please. Understand the gravity of this situation here. It's serious. When your fellow human beings are dying out in the cold because of this satanic beast, this monster at the top, this spirit that's running these people to create these policies we all have to live under. They're evil. And they love money so much they don't care who they kill. That includes you and me and everybody else that gets in their way. To keep their position, their lot, they love their fame and fortune, their exorbitant wealth. They love it so much, they don't care. Conscience pooey. Who cares about that crap? Max Kaiser, very, very intelligent guy, but he's wrong on inflation. He thinks we're going to see a lot of inflation. It can't happen. There's nowhere. What can go up? People don't have any more money to spend. The welfare system is broken. More and more people have fallen through the cracks. It can't happen unless we're going to say, yeah, we're just going to accept third world now. That's the only way we're going to see inflation, is everybody throws their arms up and just gives up. Okay. Otherwise, if Trump cuts, if he cuts that Section 8 budget in half to 25 billion, and he takes 10 billion of that and he puts it aside in a piggy bank to build houses to fix the problem permanently, done, and then have people pay the mortgage on those as they can afford, the same way Section 8 is. If your rent in New York is $2,000 a month on a flat, you're only going to pay $1,800. If the government says you can only, if Section 8 says you can only pay $200 as your cost sharing